I'd like to call to order the Oxford Village Planning Commission. Let's pay respects to the flag, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
TV. Look out, man. We're getting in there.
Let's call the roll.
Justin Ballard,
Here.
Scott Flynn,
Here.
CJ Gostor is
He'll
absent,
be absent.
Maureen Helmuth, also absent, John Nold,
Here,
Leslie Pilak, here, and Tom Schultz.
Here.
and we have a quorum.
We have a quorum.
Looking for a motion to approve the agenda for March 19th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Second.
Let's go back up a minute. Number 4. Approve the agenda for March 19th, 2024. That should be the minutes, correct?
No.
No,
I'm
this is
sorry.
the agenda.
I'm off. Yes, you're correct. Let's have a roll call, please.
Ballard,
Yes.
Nold,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Pilak,
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes.
Did I forget anybody?
I apologize for that. Approve of the minutes for February 6th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from February 6th, 2024.
Second.
Let's have a roll call, please.
Pilak,
Yes.
Schultz,
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Gostor is absent, Helmuth is absent, Ballard,
Yes.
and Nold.
Yes. Item number 6, call the public. I don't see any public tonight. Let's go down to new business. Parcel 240453 South Washington Street. STEC partial ID number 0427204-011, zoning C1 core. Is the owner is Tammy Goy, and Choice Therapy. They have an applicant for a sign permit. Mario, why don't you use our new large screen TV for
Yes, so this is very helpful, so we can have these discussions, especially when it comes to, visual things such as this. But basically, the applicant is proposing the installation of a new aluminum box sign. It would be what's noticed right here in the center. So it's actually noted as a navy blue box sign in which the letters Choice Therapeutics are cut out of the aluminum, and then a plastic acrylic face is applied to the letters. So therefore the light will be transmitted through the acrylic letters, and the navy metal background for the box will prohibit a lot of light transmission. The sign is 14 square feet in area, located on the east or South Washington Street elevation. So the location is compliant with the ordinance. The size of the sign is in compliance with the ordinance, and based on the style, with the way they're proposing construction, the amount of light transmission will be very minimal. It'll be effective in both the daylight and the nighttime when there's low light levels, and so we do think it's very clean and very minimalistic style, but it's very nice and simple. So we would recommend approval of the sign contingent upon the installation of a photo sensor that automatically dims the sign or dims the lighting levels from the transition from dusk to dawn, typically. So that would allow to ensure that even with this type of sign, it does not have a large amount of glare coming out. Although the glare in this is very, very minimal.
planning commissioners. Open the floor for questions that you may have.
Mr. Chair. Mario, I did a drive-by just to get a visual of the building. The Remax sign is up there today, and I think you can even see on this picture behind Choice, to the left and to the right, up above, where there were like previous signs where it's not been painted.
Oh, right, yeah.
Is there any maybe it's outside of the scope and it's more of a question or comment for the commission. Is there any contingency we could place upon repainting that facade or that trim piece?
Typically, I believe after this approval, the applicant would apply for a building permit to allow for the installation of the sign, or at a minimum, an electrical permit to install that. And then the inspector typically would look and make sure that best practices were done in terms of making sure the quality of the work is workmanlike and professional. So you could make a note, I imagine, to make sure that the final conditions of the structure are clean and all previous maintenance has been dealt with. Because you're right, it does look like those are some previous support structures that are on the side, on the left and right. But that's something usually done by whomever is doing the review. And Joe might correct me, depending on which permit actually is required of them once they have their approval, if any.
Yeah, and even if it wasn't eliminated, the building inspector would go out, look at it, and make sure it's measured right, and it's applied sufficient to the building and stuff. Cosmetically, if they wanted a different colored square or something behind there, it wouldn't be outside of our bounds, I have to make them paint it. But if it's unfinished, that's, I think what Mario touched on right now, would be sure that no unfinished part would be exposed.
So you're referring to the brownish gray area?
Right, to the
The
left
second
and to the
step
right.
up, yeah, right there.
It appears as though there was a prior sign located there that has not been repainted after removal.
Yeah, they may have painted that tan or
Yeah.
cream color around that sign and then removed.
And it could have been that in a previous sign, the support structure did go that larger length, or the, from this point on the east all the way over to this point. I don't know if you can see my little
Yeah.
cursor or not. But, and then when they removed it, the smaller sign had a different support structure, so, generally speaking, it's one of those things, it'd be nice if they, like I said, because it's unfinished, they should at least finish it with some type of paint or something.
So we may, as a commission, in a motion, consider the upkeep and cosmetic view post-installation updates.
I think if protocol, we just recommend that they,
Yeah, it'd be right.
cosmetically, a recommendation from the board. We have any other questions? Tom?
Nope.
Leslie?
I just want to thank you for bringing that up because it was immediately obvious to me, so thanks.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah, and just a recommendation that the installation is done in a professional, workmanlike manner that it treats all unimproved services. Should be in order.
I like that language.
Then I look for a motion.
I have a motion, but just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to put some final touches on it, so just bear with me 1 second, please.
Mario, in the past, or Joe, in the past, have we had situations where we had to do some cosmetic work on the building?
Not really, I can think, nothing comes to light or mind,
But that's probably because things usually like this usually get caught in the past.
Yeah.
Just in this point, they just did it during their inspection. Because, when things get installed, because sometimes if they do channel cut letters, and you can see that, oh, that used to be a CVS. So the next tenant has to make sure they don't put Rite Aid in the CVS is still visible.
Okay, so so I have a motion to approve the sign at parcel number 04-27-204-011, Choice Therapeutics, contingent upon the recommendations outlined by the McKenna letter dated March 12th, 2024, with a recommendation as well to cosmetically take care of previous sign, location of previous sign. Sorry, I didn't quite have the wording together, but it's
I'll second.
close.
If we're clear on that, I'll
Yeah.
second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Okay, roll call. Ballard,
Yes.
Pilak. Yes. Helmuth is absent. Schultz.
Yes.
Flynn,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes,
and Gosdor is absent.
motion passes. Thank you, Mario.
Mhm.
Item number eight, old business, review landscaping ordinance draft amendments. Mario?
Yes, I have been making progress on the revisions, I just don't have them for you tonight because I was hoping to get some additional recommendations from a landscape architect that works with our firm, just in terms of, because part of the changes you wanted was recommendations on types of bushes that would be native and to Michigan. So I was just looking for that kind of specificity. And then other things that that were needed to be changed was trying to massage the language with regards to maintenance, to have it be a little bit more flexible and allow for the staff and enforcement of the standards to be practical, rather than have them be such to the point that they'd be too intense in terms of the amount of work needed just to make sure that. But basically, the way that you deal with that is you make sure that you have one sentence where they're required to comply with it, but then the village has the alternative in terms of its enforcement procedures. So those are just a couple of the things that we changed, and apologies for not getting that list together, but that'll be available at the next meeting.
With regard to the native plants for shrubs and whatnot, perennials also, I'd like to mention that in addition to the standard native wild version, there are a lot of varieties that are derived from the natural native versions that, sometimes that might be, they're shorter in height or whatever, but they're still within that range of native species. So when you talk to your landscape architect, if it's okay with the commission, maybe you could use that kind of little bit broader range for generating that list.
And other ways we wanted to massage the language was to reference professional societies, but I also kind of massage it so to say, for example, as recommended through the DNR or similar associations deemed appropriate by the Planning Commission. So there are other professional societies out there that could work.
I think one of the issues that we're all trying to do is if those requirements change, we don't have to go back and change the ordinances.
Right, and so that's why I agree that's important, because while these species will be listed, it can be, I think, by referencing the actual organization and their most recent listing, that could make sure that it stays up to date without having to amend the ordinance every time the list gets edited. So,
Thank
and
you.
basically that's helpful because then the applicants just go to the source.
I would actually name some of what
yeah.
your landscape architect considers the professional group, so that we're not wondering about that at some point down the
Oh,
road.
absolutely. Oh, yeah, okay.
Thank you, Mario. Item number 9, call for the public. I see no public for comment, and consultant administration comment.
I just want to say, I did send out the email about some of those trainings, American Planning, Michigan Planning. It came kind of late, it wasn't a lot of time, but at least the fact that some of them are virtual, I thought sometimes makes it easier to say, okay, I can go to that night tomorrow. We'll continue to do so and maybe try to catch up with them and get them up sooner.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Mario, do you,
The only other thing I might say is that I know we previously were speaking with, about some minor revisions of the sign ordinance too, so we'll try and work on those and have them both together so we can try and take care of both of those at the same time.
thank you. How about reports? Oxford Township Planning Commission. The Planning Commission is working on the master plan. Once a month we meet as a Planning Commission to be reviewed and updated in regards to our master plan process, and it's going very well. We had a meeting at the Legacy Center, thank you, on Sunday, and that went very well. We had a lot of comment. I'm looking for the results back from our consultants.
Do they have numbers of how many people attended?
We have on record between 53 and 55, but the consultant as well as myself, I was there, feel that there was more people, more residents that came in.
That's good.
And there was a tremendous input. We were very pleased with that.
Is the survey closed?
Survey is closed, yes.
Any idea how many people responded?
Yes, I think it's 691. I'm not exactly sure on that,
Okay.
but we wanted to get 1,000, but I think it ended up at 691.
Okay, thanks.
How about reports back from ZBA?
Nothing.
How about reports from DDA?
I'll chime in there a little bit. This week, late last week, Kellen and I met with the Big B site plan that was approved here with the owners there. Remember there was an issue with them trying to coordinate the restriction on the pass-through traffic through Dr. Steep's veterinary office there on Lincoln. They come up with some solutions. Now that the owner of the property, the car wash owner, which obviously owns that lot where the Big B was proposed, he really doesn't want them trying to exiting out there because he's found there's really a lot of traffic coming and going through his car wash. And so they're trying to find where they can loop back around and come right back out the access drive there just south of the Sunoco. So they could maybe do a curb cut on the south or on the, closer to the road for them to come out exit that. That's designed for ingress egress already through MDOT. So they just were spitballing some ideas of how maybe changing the curb cuts along that access drive. We haven't seen any of that plan. It was just more of a mock-up, so to speak, what they gave us. Once I get something from her, I'll run it by Mario to see to what degree, if any, it may have to come back for, it's mostly traffic flow, really all that's going traffic pattern. But, you know, they're still trying to plug along, but it's got a couple things they're going to address before they get everything going. I know they've made some progress getting some of the trees and stuff down there. Hopefully, that'll stay on track and they can get that figured out on the access there.
Thank you. Thank you.
I haven't seen Dr. Steve's sign. Have you anybody seen it? I heard it's
Yes.
really nice.
Looks nice.
I've
Looks
driven
good.
by there 5-6 times and never looked at it.
I have
was
seen
looking
it.
at
Looks
something
good.
different through there.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
go home now. Commissioner comments, item number 12. Leslie?
Nothing.
Tom?
Nothing.
Nothing further.
Justin?
Yes, a comment that I had is that one of the things that you had said, Mario, was about the sign ordinance, about redoing it. Are we considering talking about updating it so we can talk about with the light, the LED lights, the dimmers?
That's the main scope, right?
Okay,
of
so-
the
so-
rework.
Okay, so we're back kind of on that to kind of redo that so we don't have to come for this and it can be done administratively. All right, perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least that's
Excellent.
my understanding
Yep.
from the last planning commission, when John made
Yep.
that request for
Okay.
Mario. That was the scope of the refinement in that ordinance.
It's been a little while, so I kind of forget.
Yeah.
Perfect, well, thank you for that again.
Mhm.
Yeah, that.
That's all I have.
I have no comment for tonight. Future business? Terry, any?
Nothing, nothing on deck. We're in the hole.
Some BB coffee, Big B coffee, possibly.
Well. yeah.
Hopefully that'll be just a simple review and we won't need anything to come back.
That's fine.
They're struggling with that a little bit right now to see what works.
How about a motion to adjourn?
So,
We adjourn at 7:19.
At 1:21.
I forgot.